Start by clicking the Edit This Page button. Once the editor window has opened, place your cursor in the location where you want your table to appear. In the editor menu at the top of the page, there is an Insert Table button. Click on this button. You are given an opportunity to put in the number of rows or columns that you would like to see in your table. If you're not sure, don't worry, you can add or delete rows or columns as you go along. Once you've filled in the Define Your Table boxes, click the Insert Table button, and your table has appeared. You can now start putting data into your table. Using your mouse, you can place your cursor into the table, and you just type normally. You can move from cell to cell by using your mouse to click into the cell, or you can use the Tab button. When you hit Tab, your cursor moves into the next cell automatically. Now that we have the data in our table, let's do a couple of things to make it easier to understand. Place the cursor into one of the cells on the table. We're going to center the text in the entire table. Now that the cursor is in, the Toolbox button has appeared. We will click on the Toolbox button, and we're wanting to work with the entire table. So we go down to Table and click on that. Again, we're centering the text for the whole table. Notice the table is gray, which indicates the areas of the table which will be affected by any changes we make. We're going to choose Alignment for text alignment, and then we'll choose Center. All the text is now centered in the table. We're going to make the top row a bit more distinctive from the rest of the rows in the table so that people understand this is a header row. Again, the cursor is in a cell on that row. We're clicking on the Toolbox button. We're going to work this time with rows. Again, you can see the row that will be affected by the changes we make is highlighted in gray. Click on Row, and down at the bottom of the row menu is a Make Header. When you make a header for a table, the lines around the cells will disappear and the text will become bold. This makes it distinctive, and people will understand that that is identifying the information that is shown below. At any time while working with your table, it's possible to add or delete columns or rows. We'll add a column. Put your cursor in the table near where you want your column to appear. Click on the Table Toolbox button. We're going to add a column, so we choose Column. And as we go down the column menu, there is Add Column. When you click on Add Column, you get a choice between adding the column to the left or to the right of the existing column. When you roll your cursor over one of those choices, the table will show you in green where your column is going to go. So we're going to put a column to the right of the department column. We want to format this column so that it matches the rest of the table. We'll put our cursor into the top cell. We're going to make this a header cell with centered text, so we choose the Toolbox button. This cell, we want the alignment to be centered, and we want to make the cell a header cell. As you can see, the lines around the cell have disappeared. The text is centered, and it's highlighted. In order to delete columns or rows, you use the same process. We're going to delete a row. Put your cursor into a cell on the row that you wish to delete. Click on the Toolbox button and choose Row. When you put your cursor over the Remove Row button, the row that will be deleted is shown in red. This is the row that we do wish to delete, so we will click on Remove Row. And the row is gone. One more way to add rows onto your table is through the use of the Tab button on your keyboard. Once you've reached the final cell that's available to you in your table and you've filled it in as you want, you can hit the Tab button on your keyboard and the table will automatically have a row added to it. You can continue to do this for as long as you need to, always by going to the final cell, filling in your information, and hitting the Tab key on your keyboard. When you've completed filling in the data and making the changes to the table, you want to preview the way that it will look on the page. You do this by going to the Preview button in the Editor menu at the top. Click on Preview. The editing window will close and you will see what your table is going to look like once you save it. If you notice something that you need to change, you want to hit the Continue Editing button. This opens the editing window again and allows you to manipulate the table in whatever way you need to. Again, once you're finished, you want to preview the table. And it looks good this time, so what we're going to do is save the table. Notice that the Edit This Page button has reappeared, and your table is now in the window. It is not possible to put your cursor into the table to add or change data. If you wish to work with your table further, you need to do this by going back to the Edit This Page button, clicking on it, and then working on your table from inside the editing window.